Probably the most important thing about trading price action and about reading clean charts is to be able to distinguish a rotation and a trend. The reason for that is that if you look at any chart, it basically consists of either a rotation or a trend. Usually there's not really anything else. All charts you look at are basically combinations of rotations and trends. Now, why I'm talking about this? Rotation zones are super important because rotation zones are liquidity zones. For example, rotation like here in this picture, right? This rotation. So place where the price is rotating is a significant liquidity zone, and heavy volumes are accumulated in such a zone. And the reason for that is that big trading institutions who move and manipulate prices, they have insane amounts of money they trade, and they need to allocate that money into markets, right? And they need to do it slowly, unnoticed, so they don't move the market too soon. So the rotation is a place where those big guys, those big trading institutions are accumulating their trading positions, right? Big guys are getting ready for a trend. And that's why rotation is super important. And rotation is quite common. If you look at charts, I would say very roughly, I would say that it's like 70% of all time markets are in a rotation, roughly 70% of the time. Depends on the market, but generally speaking, 70%. Now, after those huge trading institutions accumulate their trading positions in a rotation, what happens next is that those guys need to start a trend to make those huge positions profitable, right? So after a rotation, there's always a trend, like here. And in the trend, the strong institutional buyers from this place, from this rotation, are making money on the long positions which they placed in here in that rotation. That's what happens with rotations and trends. And trends occur only around 20 or 30% of the time. As I was saying, the rest, it's just a rotation. Now, why I'm talking about this is that rotation zones act as strong support and resistances because heavy volumes were traded in those rotations. So if you look at this picture, then there is a rotation right there. And what I did is that I printed volume profile here. Volume profile is a tool that shows volumes at a time, right? So the wider the volume profile is, like for example in here, the heavier volumes were traded at this place. So as you can see, the volume profile shows that in that rotation, heavy volumes were accumulated. So remember that heavy volume areas or rotation areas work as a strong support and resistance zones because heavy volumes are traded there.